Hey guys, Nicole here, and I just wanted to do, sorry, I wanted to do a quick video. Um, Before I get all this packed into my car, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I pack for these scrapbooking weekends. And this is going to be applicable to any time you go somewhere to scrapbook or go to a weekend cropper or whatever. I just wanted to talk about how, one, what I take, and two, how the setup of my room assists me in that process and making it very quick. Like I probably got this 20 minutes maybe that I had this ready to go. And this is actually pretty good. Sometimes I have double this amount if I can't decide what things I want to work on. But I did pretty good this time around. So kind of the way I approach it is over time, I've come to figure out that a few things don't work for me. One, taking too much. Two, taking a bunch of extra stuff besides the kits because I don't tend to use it. And three, taking older projects with the intent of getting them finished, kind of forcing myself to work on them by having them with me. That is not motivating at all to me or really fun if I'm not in the mood to work on it. So I don't do that as well. What I typically do when I pack is I take kits I've already put together or that are just like the manufacturer's kits. And I just pack them and I pull the new stuff and I pull the ones that are maybe the current season, match the current season because those are going to be my most recent photos. I'd like to work with my most recent photos. Every so often I'll take a project and, plan accordingly, but most of the time I don't. Now, one of my goals this year for these weekends was to try to work within the season that I'm in, meaning whatever holiday or event is close to the time that I'm going on my weekend away, to try to focus on working on those because my theme stuff was getting a little out of control and needed to be organized. And so I started that in January. In January, we got together and I took all of my Christmas stuff, which was crazy. That was the fullest my car had probably ever been. But I scrapbooked a ton with it, made some projects, made a bunch of pages, and then organized it. And so when I came home, it was just ready to put back into my Kallax, and it's organized, which is awesome. And so the last time, I know last time I think I worked on like sports and birthdays because both my girls had birthdays in January and April. So I worked on their birthdays. So I do sometimes this year my goal was to pick a theme with each crop and say, okay, if we're going in September, I'm going to work on fall stuff. So fall, Halloween. If we're going to go in the winter, maybe I'm going to do Christmas and winter photos. And so I've been pretty successful at doing that. And so that is one of the elements of what I am taking, and I'll get to that here in a second. But mostly what I do is I pack my basic supplies, I pack a bunch of kits, and I just pick the ones I'm motivated to work with right now, maybe that work with my most recent photos or our newer product I want to play with, maybe a bunch of smaller kits that I think I'll combine because I do that a lot. And I just pull those and they're ready to go. And so then, of course, you have some basic supplies that you have to have. And then I'll pack a few other basic embellishment options that I can work in on any of the kits that I happen to work with. And so I'm just going to I'm going to actually start over here and work this way and kind of talk about why I'm taking it and then how my room setup helped me prepare that. And so, first of all, this is just my basic tool kit or tool supply bag here. And basically for me, my basic tools are going to be my trimmer, adhesive, I have a stapler, scissors, I have a corner rounder, my puncher, crocodile, and then my adhesives and blades. And then I always buy these 4.5 by 6.5 packs from Hobby Lobby of white cardstock. And so I always grab that and then these white tags. And those are just things I can use for, on any page. And then I have what I call my crop set pack of twine, and it fell out of the bag, unfortunately. But it was just this little bag of baker's twine that I think I got at Hobby Lobby. And I think it has like 6 colors at the bottom there. And then I take this big old ball of white string as a backup. So if those don't work for whatever I'm doing, I can use this. I think I got this at Goodwill for like a quarter or something. And then my Pop Dots and adhesive and things. I'm taking a bunch of older adhesive to try to get it used up because I'm actually low on this stuff, which will go to Hobby Lobby and I can buy some more. But I cleaned out my adhesive drawer and I don't like to throw stuff away, or like I just want to use it. And then I just packed up this bag, and I'll show you the drawer that this is in, of kind of basic supplies that I like to just have on hand if I need them, if they aren't already in the kits. So I got some enamel dots, some doilies, and some wood veneers. Just very basic, fairly, like the wood veneers neutral. I just kind of packed a variety of colors of doilies because I know that those aren't going to be, well, wood veneers, some of my kits might have wood veneers in them and enamel dots, but that way if a particular kit doesn't have a lot of embellishments or a lot of dimensional embellishments, finishing touch pieces, and I have a few I can go to, and I'll probably get some more at Hobby Lobby, just to be honest. I always buy something the first night, and then I usually incorporate those into the kits I'm working with. And so basically, that's just like the basic tools and stuff. And then as far as my kits, I have this bag here and then this roller bag here. And what I do is I just have all my bagged up kits along these bottom shelves. And I just sit down and I scooch my bottom along the floor and I just pull kits that I want to play with. I looked at my most recent photos and a lot of summer pictures. And so I pulled a lot of summer themed kits and just new stuff that I wanted to play with. And I kept it as simple as that. And just pulled those and then put them into the bags. And so I know for one thing, a lot of these kits are going to have letter stickers, enamel dots, wood veneers, lots of different types of embellishments because it's a huge variety of different lines from different manufacturers. We have all kinds of fun options there. And then there's a ton more in here. And I don't worry really too much about packing too many kits because I want to have options depending on what photos I decide to work with. And so I know that I have such a huge variety here. I'm going to be able to find something that works, with whatever photo I'm going to be working with. And then of course I pack my white cardstock, and then I have some vellum that I got stuck in here somewhere. Vellum, I usually like to take glassine bags or vellum or something to provide a different texture to my page. And then I take a variety, just a couple, 2 or 3 basic pocket page style packs, because I'll often scrapbook, an event or, a concert or something that will have something where I want to do one layout and then a pocket page next to it. And it's just easier to do right then and there versus, try to plan it out without the actual pockets. So I like to take those and have those on hand. So basically the only cardstock I'm taking is white. And then I just am going to bank on the fact that between these, 10, 12, 14 kits, I'm going to have other background paper options within these different kits. And I'll probably end up combining a lot of these. Like I know there's a lot of summery themed lines that are small, didn't have a lot of embellishments. I'll probably find ones that are similar colors and combine them. I know there's some Echo Park ones, there's some Simple Stories ones that I'll just combine. So that again was a very fast process. And then I have this container I just got, and I'm going to take this and I'm just going to separate these out onto my table to hold different embellishments. But then this bag is just my photo printing stuff because I'm mostly going to try to just print photos directly from my phone. So I have my Canon Selfie, and then I have my Instax printer. So all the paper, ink, etc. that goes along with that is there. And then there's still room at the top, so I just stick that in there. And then the other thing, I like to have, something I can play with a little bit, whether it be stamping or ink or whatever. And so I just keep it to one container because I figured out that there's been times I've taken a ton of stencils and paint and gesso. Yeah, it doesn't happen. The only mixed media I consistently know that I will use when I'm away for a crop is, Stampin' Ink and then Heidi Swapp Color Shines. And so what I did is I just took this container, it's from Walmart, and I keep just them anyway in this container here. And it fits in here, so I just keep it in the container, and then just fill in the other spaces with extra stuff that I think I'll play with. So Normally I just do black ink, and I have my block there, but I added in red and navy blue this time around because I'm working with 4th of July stuff here. I'll show you shortly. Some roller stamps, some regular stamps, which again was easy. I just went to where I keep all my stamps, and I just twirled it, and I grabbed 5 or 6. No rhyme or reason, just ones I thought I wanted to play with. Some of these stamps and my wipes, and that's it. So I could fit a couple more things in here. If I come across something I think I might want to play with, I'll put it in there, but that is easy peasy. This bag is going to be for my laptop. I always take my computer because if we do a class, and I like to have a larger screen than my phone, and so I take my laptop. I'll pack that. My daughter's playing on it right now. Okay, and so then the other thing, basic supply, is I do add in letter stickers, because I know a lot of these kits are going to have letter stickers, but most of them are going to be smaller and flat ones. And so I just go to where I store all my letter stickers, and I grab 2 or 3 from each color. And this is actually just going to fit right in the top here, so I don't even need an extra bag for that. I'm going to show you really quickly how easy that was for me. I just have them stored in these containers by color, and so I just sat down and I just went through and flipped through and grabbed a couple from each color, and then I have a nice base of dimensional letter stickers for the weekend. And then I'll quickly show you here too. In this drawer I keep kind of those little things that you can use on any layout, your wood veneers, enamel dots, and doilies. So this is a drawer I just go to. I kind of just grabbed a handful from each and just put that in that little zipper bag I showed you earlier. And I may do a different type of embellishment each time, but I know that my kits are going to have stickers, paper, a variety of embellishments. Each kit's going to be a little bit different. And so really I don't need a ton of extra. Like, I'm really going to be fine because so many of these manufacturers are providing so many different types of embellishments, and I usually get them all. And so I know that I'm going to be fine. And if I need to steal from one kit for a page I want to do, that's totally okay. Like, I just don't want to pack, I could really go crazy and pack a little bit of everything in my room, but it just doesn't make sense, and it's a waste of time and room. Okay, so then when I was looking at my recent photos, I noticed that 4th of July obviously was on there. So my more recent photos was 4th of July. And I hadn't scrapbooked a ton of our past 4th of Julys, which kind of surprised me. So because of how I have my stuff organized, right, I have things, if you haven't seen my scrapbook room tour, I have things by category from the photos to the finished album and everything in between. So I just basically went to my 4th of July section. I grabbed the photo album from here. I grabbed the 4th of July paper from here. I'm not taking the finished album. I don't need to. I pulled the bin that has 4th of July product in it, and I'm done. I have everything I need from photos to embellishments to paper. And so thankfully this was not full. I mean, I have a lot of 4th of July stuff, but not as much as I do some other themes. Just give you a quick look in here real quick. I just have everything that when I bought it or looked at it, I said, oh, that's 4th of July. For instance, like this hemp twine and these embellishments and this new star set that I just got that I crumpled up a little bit. And then I have these little containers that I've put all the little bits and pieces in, like die cuts and things like that are all 4th of July themed. And then ephemera from events I've been to, like political events I've been to, and there's washi tape in here, there's burlap, there's all kinds of, anything that was 4th of July themed that I got, I stuck in here. And so the nice thing is, since it's not full, my photo box, just fits perfectly here. And so it's not very well organized, but lots of pictures in there, so fits in there perfectly. There's handles, and I can just stick that into my trunk. The paper, then I just put in a bag, because paper doesn't fit in these. One, it gets scratched up, and they're not quite big enough to hold paper well. You can do them like sideways, but I wouldn't have room. So I have this bag here where I have all my 4th of July paper, and then I went ahead and just grabbed 2 other photo albums of photos, because sometimes my selfie doesn't, like the Wi-Fi doesn't work real great and I have troubles with my selfie. So if I'm having trouble printing from my phone and I'm not working with 4th of July yet, I have lots of other photos to pick from that are going to go with lots of the kits that I brought with. Now, one tip is, because these two items here are very themed, except for the photo albums, but they're very themed. I often, when I do something like that, like I'll leave them in my trunk and I'll take everything else into the hotel room. And this time I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm not taking very much, and this will all probably fit on one of the little carts that you use to take your stuff to your room. So I think I don't need to do that this time, but in the past, if I have a lot more stuff, I'll leave these two in my trunk and then work with other stuff. And then if I say, gosh, I'm really in the mood to work on 4th of July, or I want to get these pictures scrapbooked, or I'm ready to move on to something different, then I'll go to my car at that point in time and grab them. Because if for some reason I never end up working on 4th of July because I've found so many other photos that inspired me more, or another kit that I wanted to play with that lasted me a lot longer than I thought it would, then I didn't waste my time taking this in and out of my car, with the exception of from my house. But that's just a little tip that I have learned over time, because too many times I've taken everything in the hotel and then I'm like, well, I didn't touch anything from that bag or anything from that bin, and it was just a waste of time. So that's a tip for you. So because I have my room organized in a way in which I scrapbook, especially with kits, it took, like I said, 20 minutes and I was done. I'm going to be gone. I'll be scrapbooking Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 3 full days. I work tomorrow bright and early in the morning, and I'm leaving right from work. So I'm not coming back home. So it all has to get done tonight. And it was so fast because I already have the kits in bags. I'm not going to make them. I have a bunch of homemade kits sitting around. I'm not taking any of those with me for whatever reason, but just having the kits, already ready to go, whether it be ones I made, ones you've made, or just manufacturer's kits, which a lot of mine are, or all of mine currently are manufacturer's kits, but having them just ready to go. And then also just having the holiday and the themed items organized in a way that it took me 2 seconds to pull each thing off the shelf and done. Super, super easy. So how you organize your stuff and organize your room really does make a difference when it comes to not just your regular scrapbooking, but especially when you're going to pack to go somewhere. And I've been doing this for years, and so I obviously have it down, and I know how things usually work for me as far as how much stuff I need. Like this will be way more kits than I'm going to need. I know that, but I want to have options. Like I want to have different color schemes. I want to have different themes. I want to have different, different types of kits. And so I am still meeting that need of having a lot of variety, but not taking 3-4 hours to pull a bunch of random stuff and try to put it together and figure out what's going with what. I know that I'll have pictures that will mesh with any of these kits, whether it be on my phone or in these albums or whatnot. Obviously, the 4th of July stuff is all going to match the 4th of July product I'm bringing, and so that's a given. And so that is just what I wanted to share. Like I said, this is a pretty tame amount for me. Sometimes I double this. Just if usually it's when I'm in a major rush the night before and I just grab stuff, but this actually isn't too horribly bad. And I've just kind of learned to limit myself, and that it's always okay. If it's always fine. And there's a Hobby Lobby there if I absolutely need something, but it's very doubtful that I'll ever actually need something. I'm sure I'll find plenty still, but anyway, I just wanted to share that, and may do a video from the weekend, or may just wait till we get home and do a layout share. I'm not for sure which, but I just thought I'd share kind of the process in which I pack before I get it all put into my car. I'll do that tonight, along with a couple 4-foot tables, white tables, that we take and set up in the middle of the room. And I got to remember to get those out of the garage, or I will forget, and get this all packed away so it's ready for me in the morning. And I'm excited to go. So anyway, we'll be in touch soon, and either this weekend or I'll I'll be back with a layout share. Until then, happy scrapping. Bye bye.